Team 9 of 52 teams of 8 rival wisdoms. Help make America wiser and kinder with antique rival wisdom team quotes that have passed the test of time to make humanity great, with words of wisdom to encourage, educate and entertain generations for centuries. Give your kids free easy extra advantage math, spelling and reading workbooks you can download for free at stop2think.com. Free easy math wisdom workbooks with Octo-Repetition to grow math self-confidence. Free easy alpha Cypher coded puzzles teach letters, numbers and phrases using antique wisdoms that encourage and educate. And since time is money, practice reading faster with 52 teams of antique rival wisdoms that have passed the test of time to encourage, educate and entertain generations for centuries. Team quote 9.1. Until we are all free, we are none of us free. Emma Lazarus 1849 to 1887. This powerful statement from Emma Lazarus, who is famous for her poem on the Statue of Liberty, expresses a profound truth about the interconnected nature of human freedom. As someone who wrote extensively about the immigrant experience and human rights, her perspective on collective liberation carries special weight. The quote makes several important points about freedom. Freedom is indivisible. It cannot exist fully for some while being denied to others. Liberty is interconnected. The oppression of any group affects everyone. True freedom requires universal application. Partial freedom is not really freedom at all. Individual liberty is tied to collective liberation. I find it particularly meaningful how Lazarus uses none of us, rather than simply saying, no one. It emphasizes our shared humanity and mutual dependency. This phrasing suggests that allowing others to remain unfree not only denies them liberty, but also compromises our own. Have you observed how restrictions on any group's freedom often have ripple effects that impact everyone's liberty in some way? Team quote 8.2. 'Tis love that makes the world go round, my baby. Charles Dickens 1812 to 1870. This tender line from Dickens captures both a universal truth and a personal intimacy with its mix of cosmic scope, the world go round, and the affectionate address, my baby. It's characteristic of Dickens' ability to blend grand themes with warm human connection. The phrase, makes the world go round, suggests that love is the fundamental force driving human activity, what gives life its meaning and momentum, the energy that keeps society functioning, the motivation behind our most significant actions, what connects us all in the great cycle of life. The addition of my baby transforms what could be a purely philosophical statement into something more personal and tender. It's as if Dickens is saying that while love moves the entire world, it's most powerfully felt in our intimate connections. I find it particularly touching that Dickens, known for his sharp social criticism, also recognized love as the essential force in human life. Have you observed how love in its many forms does seem to be what motivates and sustains so much of human endeavor? Team quote 9.3. Honest people don't hide their deeds. Emily Bronte 1818 to 1848. This straightforward observation from Emily Bronte, author of Wuthering Heights, captures a fundamental truth about the relationship between honesty and transparency. It's particularly meaningful coming from someone whose writing often explored the complexities of human nature and moral choices. The statement suggests several important principles. Transparency is a natural extension of honesty. Concealment often signals consciousness of wrongdoing. True integrity has nothing to fear from openness. Actions that need hiding usually shouldn't be done. Honest behavior can withstand scrutiny. I find it interesting that Bronte focuses on deeds rather than words, suggesting that it's our actions, not just our statements, that reveal our true character. The simplicity of the statement belies its depth. It's not just about being honest in what we say, but about living in a way that doesn't require concealment. Have you noticed how the need to hide one's actions often serves as a kind of moral compass, signaling when we might be straying from our principles? Team quote 9.4. I like to praise and reward loudly, to blame quietly. Catherine 2 1729–1796. This astute observation from Catherine the Great reveals a sophisticated understanding of human psychology and leadership. As a ruler who transformed Russia, she understood how the manner of delivering praise or criticism could significantly impact its effectiveness. The contrast between loudly and quietly suggests several wise principles. Public praise can inspire and motivate others. Private criticism preserves dignity and encourages improvement. Recognition works best when shared openly. Correction works best when handled discreetly. The volume of feedback carries its own message. I find it particularly meaningful that she specifies both praise and reward, suggesting that words of appreciation should be backed by tangible recognition. And the choice to blame quietly shows awareness that public criticism often creates defensiveness rather than improvement. Have you observed how the manner of delivering feedback, whether praise or criticism, can be as important as the feedback itself? Team quote 9.5. Goals help you overcome short-term problems. Hannah More 1745–1833. This practical insight from Hannah More, a prominent social reformer and philanthropist, highlights how having clear objectives can help us maintain perspective during immediate challenges. It's particularly meaningful coming from someone who pursued long-term social change despite numerous obstacles. The quote suggests several important principles. Goals provide context for current difficulties. Short-term problems seem less daunting when viewed against larger objectives. Having clear aims helps maintain motivation through struggles. Purpose gives meaning to temporary hardships. Long-term vision helps sustain us through immediate challenges. I find it interesting that Moore uses the word help rather than suggesting goals eliminate problems entirely. She recognizes that challenges will still exist, but having clear goals makes them more manageable and puts them in perspective. Have you experienced how having clear goals can change your perception of immediate difficulties? Team quote 9.6. Reject hatred without hating. Mary Baker Eddy 1821–1910. This profound statement from Mary Baker Eddy, founder of Christian Science, captures a sophisticated approach to confronting negativity. It presents the challenging idea that one can oppose hatred itself without falling into the trap of becoming hateful. The paradox is particularly powerful because it distinguishes between rejecting an action and rejecting a person, suggests we can oppose something without embodying it, calls for maintaining our own principles while confronting wrong, implies that fighting hatred with hatred only perpetuates the cycle, shows how to resist negativity while maintaining inner peace. I find it especially meaningful that she uses the word reject rather than fight or battle, suggesting a firm but peaceful stance against hatred rather than an aggressive opposition that might itself become hateful. Have you found this to be one of life's great challenges, standing firmly against hatred while not allowing yourself to become hateful in the process? Team quote 9.7. I want you to understand that your first duty is to humanity. Sarah Breedlove 1867–1919. This powerful declaration from Sarah Breedlove, also known as Madam C.J. Walker, the first self-made female millionaire in America, and a pioneering Black entrepreneur, speaks to a fundamental ethical priority. It's particularly meaningful coming from someone who used her success to empower others and fight for civil rights. The use of first duty is significant because it establishes a clear hierarchy of obligations, places collective welfare above individual interests, sets humanitarian concerns as the primary ethical compass, suggests that other duties, while important, are secondary, emphasizes our shared responsibility to one another. I find it especially striking that she uses "want you to understand" rather than simply stating it as a fact. It suggests this is a crucial lesson she learned through experience and feels compelled to pass on. Coming from someone who broke both racial and gender barriers while helping others succeed, these words carry particular weight. Have you found this principle, putting duty to humanity first, to be a useful guide in making difficult decisions? Team quote 9.8. Instinct is the nose of the mind. Delphine de Girardin 1804–1855. This wonderfully evocative metaphor from de Girardin compares our mental instinct to our most primal sense of detection and warning. As a writer and journalist, she understood how intuition often guides us toward truth before conscious reasoning catches up. The comparison of instinct to the nose is particularly apt because, like smell, instinct provides immediate preconscious information. Both can warn us of danger before we fully understand why. Both operate on a primitive fundamental level. Both can detect subtle signals that might be missed by other senses. Both serve as early warning systems for the body/mind. I find it fascinating how this metaphor bridges the physical and mental realms, suggesting that our mental instincts operate much like our physical senses, providing quick, vital information about our environment and situations. Have you noticed how your instincts, like your sense of smell, sometimes alert you to things before you can rationally explain why? And if you'd like to help raise school test scores and self-confidence, you can give your kids free Easy Extra Advantage math, spelling and reading workbooks you can download for free at stop2think.com or buy at educationstopshate.com. Free Easy Math Wisdom workbooks with Octo-Repetition to grow math self-confidence. You'll get plenty of repetitive practice of age ranges and averages of our 52 teams of 8 quote authors. Free Easy Alpha Cypher-coded puzzles teach letters, numbers, and phrases using antique wisdoms that encourage and educate. Can you decode this Cypher quote of encouragement using either our learning to spell or just for fun instructions? And since time is money, practice reading faster with 52 teams of antique rival wisdoms that have passed the test of time to encourage, educate, and entertain generations for centuries. We offer printed versions and timed videos with background music. Sign up for free weekly emails of 52 teams of antique rival wisdom workbooks with easy math, spelling, and reading practice. And if you'd like to get paid for sharing our wearable wisdoms, keep this in mind. Everyone I know wears a shirt, and most of us change them daily, so change your shirt and change the world. Social equalities are blatantly subliminal antique positive wisdoms repetitively shared without saying a word. This applies to all our wearable shareable wisdoms, like pretty witty baby onesies and baby tees that you and others will see and read multiple times a day. The same is true with pretty witty kids, but they'll also share these wisdoms with anyone that can read at daycare or school. Youthful truths let your kids gain confidence sharing antique wisdoms with their friends. Imagine them sharing words of wisdom with classmates and teachers. I think, therefore I think tees I wear is a super easy way to share words of wisdom that have passed the test of time. Our social equalities help make us all wiser and kinder with blatantly subliminal messages, promoting a more fair and equal opportunity society for all. And don't forget our giftwisdoms.com for birthdays and holidays that makes it easy to share the wisdom with clothing, coffee mugs, and magnets. So do the future a favor by encouraging, educating, and entertaining with words of wisdom that have passed the test of time to make us all wiser and kinder. With wearable wisdoms to fit babies, kids, and adults, you can clothe a whole family, city, or state. Join the 52 of 8 today at 52of8.com.